Hello and welcome to My Personal Opinion. I'm JM and these certainly are my opinions. Welcome to the show. Hello. Today I'd like to talk about my TMS experience, kind of the final thoughts on it, as I completed my TMS on July 17th of 2023. I'm not a doctor, I'm not trying to pretend to be one, and I'm certainly not trying to offer medical advice. I'm simply giving you my experiences with TMS so that you can see, mine and research others who have also experienced TMS and see the different outcomes, the different experiences, the positives and negatives that individuals have experienced so that you can make decisions on your own. But please seek out medical advice from medical professionals, your doctor, your psychologist, whatever. Do not use Dr. Google or Dr. YouTube to make true medical decisions. Simply use it as research to, help with your decision making. I've tried a lot of different things. I've tried Paxil, I've tried Prozac, I've tried Wellbutrin, I've tried so many different things. And a lot of those were not successful for me. That doesn't mean it would be successful for you or would not. It simply means for whatever wiring is in my head, those particular types of approaches, SSRIs and dopamine-based treatments just simply didn't work out. So when TMS came to my attention as a technologist, it was pretty exciting, to be quite frank. I thought it was an interesting idea, and I definitely thought, this could be a possibility. It was a different approach than chemicals, and so I jumped on it, did some research, got excited about it because there were a lot of high success rates. It was definitely logic-based. It was using MRIs to stimulate parts of the brain that were kind of asleep. That when you're depressed, that it didn't allow for your brain to find other pathways to deal with certain issues. So there's a lot of cool ideas, cool thoughts. If you want to hear more about it, I do talk about it, in this video that I'll throw out here. So I went in with a lot of hope and positive thoughts, and there was some apprehension too. Certainly the idea of having some magnet banging away at your brain had some concerns, and definitely if you go through the videos of the first session all the way to when it got to the target power of 60%, everything's done in apparently percentage of power. Once I got up to that 60% and kind of went through the process, there were some oddities, some movements of my hand that were unnerving as well as fascinating, because it was something to at least kind of pay attention to. It's like, well, there's something going on. But sadly, I did not hit that wow factor. I've seen a lot of people come back and say this was the best experience I've had. It was remarkable. I feel so much better. I didn't feel worse. Maybe there's a little bit of improvement in mood. I don't know. It's hard to really latch on to anything particular, but there certainly wasn't anything that stood out to me. I'm not trying to discourage others because, again, there's a lot of people that have had positive experiences with this stuff, but there is a 20%, roughly 20 to 30% rate of people who don't have a response to TMS, and unfortunately, I'm one of them. There were moments where it hurt a little bit. There were moments where it kind of freaked me out when my hands were moving, and I do cover that in some of the other videos, but I don't feel like there was something that I could say, man, that was torture. Definitely got used to it. Definitely got into a mode where I was just sitting there reading my phone, checking things out, checking the news, watching a few videos. So, it wasn't anything torturous. It was only 20 minutes a day, but it was daily. 35, it's supposed to be 36 sessions, but I missed one. We didn't really feel it was necessary. I missed one, and then it was like, do we reschedule? And we decided, no, we're going to go ahead and stop at 35. I did luck out, and it was covered by insurance. So It wasn't, there weren't any major factors that I think kind of got in the way of my experience, but I do think that I just happened to be one of those that just simply didn't respond really well to it. Now, for me, I did start to include ketamine treatments. These are legal treatments done under the supervision of a mental health professional. Actually, even got some really positive news that the insurance is covering the ketamine treatments, which is a huge, a huge positive because they can be expensive. Mine at the office I go to is about $250 per session, and so that dropped it significantly, which is great. There's at least 6 sessions that are supposed to kind of get things moving. It has some of the similar ideas of waking parts up of the brain, helping with neuroplasticity. All sorts of stuff is supposed to happen. All I know is from the ketamine experience, I got a lot of positive results. I've had a lot of mood changes, and I will give the possibility that the TMS helped the ketamine. I don't know. If you watch some of my older videos on ketamine, my first ketamine experience was in an ER. They used ketamine as an attempt to replace morphine as kind of a response to the opioid crisis, but it was very negative. It was my eyes were moving around. Everything was just really negative. It was kind of a uncomfortable experience, but was told to give it another try. Set and setting, a lot of different components are definitely included when you're doing it under better supervision. You have music on, you have a positive environment, you have somebody who's walking you through it. So there's one reason it was probably more positive in the 4 sessions I've done so far. But I don't know. Like I said, I do give some credence to the idea that maybe the TMS helped the ketamine out. I don't know. With OCD, I obsess over a lot of fun ideas, so I thought about those different things. I'm not suggesting anybody rush to go do ketamine. I do think psychedelics have a place, and I do think there's a lot of great research on it. For me, it's working, but I'm doing it legally. I'm not doing it illicitly. I'm not going and getting the street versions of this stuff. It is done, by medical professionals. And so I would encourage anybody who listens to me and thinks, well, I would like to find out more, go to a health professional, clear it with your doctors, and make sure, you're doing it. Because, sourcing it from an illegal source, who knows where that's coming from? Are they mixing it with something? Is it contaminated? I've heard, other drugs being mixed in with the ketamine. So I would highly encourage to go through the proper means in order to accomplish that, if that's something you decide you want to do. Again, I'm not giving medical advice. I'm just saying for me it worked. And for others it's worked. There's a lot of positive research. So at the end of the day, I'm glad I did the TMS. I'm glad I went through the experience. I definitely cannot look back at it and say, man, if I had only tried it. I know now that it's not really an experience that works for my brain, but it could possibly work for yours. So again, I think it's really good to have multiple different experiences, both positive and negative. Just something to think about, just something to consider, because 70% to 80% success rate is not a small number. So just because it doesn't work for me doesn't mean it wouldn't work for you. I really hope that everybody, seeks their moment, their thing that helps with your mental health. I think everybody deserves to go through life in good mental and physical health. And I really hope that everybody seeks better means and finds the means that works for you, because you deserve it. I think everybody deserves it. And, I am excited for the future of things, and excited to learn more and to try more things and see, mental health continue to develop, to continue to grow. And I'm excited to see mental health become more of a destigmatized concept. I don't think that mental health should be any different than getting a broken bone fixed or getting diabetes worked on. All these things should be things that should not cause anybody shame. So those are my thoughts for the day. I hope that's interesting. Moving forward, I will have some videos talking about the ketamine, but I also am going to move more towards some of my technical content, more content on AI, more content on different aspects of technology, especially those might be interested in learning more about what the word cloud really means, what DevOps means. A lot of these concepts that you may have heard offhand and you're saying, well, what is that? And maybe even some advice on, technology decisions, whether it's going with an iPad to do all your work or getting a full-blown desktop or laptop. I mean, all these different types of concepts I'd love to chat about. Been doing this for well over 3 decades, so have a lot to offer, and I hope you'll continue with me on my journey. Thank you much. Thanks again for listening. Please like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell notification icon so you can be alerted to upcoming videos. This is JM of My Personal Opinion, signing off.